Addressing safety across Las Vegas. We've told you previously about the online map Metro has to track crimes that have recently been committed across the valley. This is a live look now at that map. Each blue dot represents a crime, wherever it happened, and this map can tell you what that crime was. And as you can tell from the map, there is a lot of crime going on in the valley.
A new force called the Flex Team is out on the streets cracking down on some hotspots. Fox 6's Danny Maston explains more on the team and their work.
Putting the flex in flex is the phrase the chief for the Department of Public Safety uses to describe the new team.
We want to go after the hot people, the hot places, and the hot times.
The team of 10 was created at the end of January with the goal of being more precise in combating crime.
Whether that be plainclothes investigations, whether that be undercover surveillance, whether that be leveraging technology, all these things are really important to us.
These officers are motivated, highly self-motivated officers, and they're out there able to identify crime, analyze criminal activity.
Sergeant for the Flex Team, Jeff Belcher, tells me it uses data collected from dispatch and calls for service to determine hotspot areas they need to patrol.
It doesn't just stop there at the arrest. We want to make sure that we get convictions on these, so we follow up.
Wherever the data is, and we know that the data is occurring if there's copper theft occurring at a certain time, we want to go intentionally in those areas and those times.
Every day you will be able to see the Flex Team patrolling up and down Fremont Street. The team also does targeted enforcement here along the Strat corridor. In both areas, the team says it has recovered guns, drugs, and made several arrests.
Those folks are proactive. They use a lot of problem-solving techniques.
Since January, the team has completed over 550 calls for service, made over 50 arrests, and issued 115 citations.
People that are down there routinely, and if they're routinely involved in criminal behavior, they know that we're there. They know that we're looking at them.
Belcher says they work closely with Metro officers, so I asked what makes their team different.
We have a different approach, and with limited resources, we try to accomplish as much as we can.
I'm Danny Maston, Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas.
Officers on the Flex Team work 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. We are told there were no additional costs to create this team.